Hello, friends! Thank you for joining me for another episode of Tips and Tricks on playing Life is Feudal Forest Village. Today, we are going to be talking about the difference between fishing huts, or what actually would be fishermen's lodges, and the fish farms, and which one is better, which one is more worth it, and all of that. So let's get to it. So, the nice thing about the fishing huts, the good thing about them, and the reason that I use them when I first start, is that they aren't super resource intensive. You need 10 grass or hay, you need 40 wood, and you need 20 stone. And you usually have a decent amount of that when you start out. Not a crazy amount, but you have enough to build that and to build maybe a a hunting shack and a house or something. So, and then it doesn't take a lot to get 10 hay, 40 wood, and 20 stone. So it's pretty easy to build. It has a decent area that you can build, and you can actually rotate it. So if you press R, it will rotate it 90 degrees. If you hold R down, it will actually rotate it in a circle, which is really nice because you can put it at the edge like this or like this, and have a bigger area. The more water that is in the circle, the more fish you're going to catch. It also is really good in the deeper areas. Like this here, it's not very deep, so you're not going to get many fish from this spot here. But over it, like if you were out here in the middle where it's deeper, you're going to get more fish. So that's something to keep in mind too. In here, if I was going to put it at the end here, I probably wouldn't do it here because of how close this area is. You're not going to get a crazy amount of fish. Maybe over here because a decent amount of the circle is going to be in the deeper area. That's kind of why I built this one here, because I mean, right here, there's not a whole lot, but out here, there should be a decent amount of fish. But the problem with the fishing lodges is that over time, the more that you're fishing in that spot, the less fish you get over time. It reduces the amount of fish. So if I have 3 people in here for a long period of time, eventually even though there's 3 people doing it, I'm not going to get as many fish because they're not respawning as quickly. You can put, a fish farm here, and then a fish farm here, and then one down somewhere over here, and rotate through them, or, do 2 at once and take a break so that they can respawn. But it's not a crazy amount of fish. So the good things about the Fisherman's Lodge is that you can build it right away, and you get some fish, and you don't have to have a crazy amount of people in there. The bad thing is that if it's in a shallow area, you're not going to get a whole lot of fish, and over time you do lose the amount of fish that you're getting. I personally think that fish farms are better. The reason is because they reproduce fish not super quickly. When they first introduced the fish farms, it gave us a crazy amount of fish. Maybe I'll put things here. The nice thing about the fish farms is, even if it's in a shallow area like this, you're still going to get the same amount of fish as you would if you were in a deep area. So I'm going to actually build this here really quick. And I'm going to let them build it so I can show you kind of what I'm talking about. So the fish farms take 150 wood, 10 iron ore, and 50 clay. But the clay, you have to have a clay mine to get. So if I create 2 fish farms, I'm not going to be able to create any more until I get a clay mine going. So it definitely takes more resources, and it takes a lot more wood. It takes 150 wood compared to the 40 wood for the Fisherman's Lodge. And then there's the 10 ore versus 10 hay. But really, the 10 hay is a lot easier to get because you can just grow it in the summertime and get the hay. Whereas the ore, you have to find it or make a mine. So it just takes a little bit longer. But once this is built, we're going to come back and I will show you how good it is. So with the Fisherman's Lodge, the person has to be standing on the dock and actually fishing in order to get any fish. And then once they get up to 13 fish, then they take the fish back to their barn. So with the fish farm, nobody has to be in here, and the fish actually respawn. And then once I put somebody in here, they will walk over, and as long as there's 13 or more, they will grab a stack of 13, and they'll actually take it all the way back up to the barn here. So it's pretty cool because with the fisherman's lodge, they have to be standing on the dock and actually fishing in order to get any of those fish. Over here, it will reproduce fish until it gets all the way up to the 100, and then it'll just sit at 100, and it'll sit there until somebody comes and takes it out. The only thing about the fish farm is that it doesn't respawn as quickly as they can grab it. So eventually, once it gets below 13, they're not going to grab any more fish until it gets back up to 13. So what I usually do is, because it takes so long to respawn, I usually will make 4 of the fish farms and rotate the person through them, because that way they gather all the fish from one until it gets below 13. Then I pause that one and I switch them to a new one, and then they grab all of those, and by the time they get through all 4 and back to the first one again, that has respawned all of them and they can grab them again. I personally think that the fish farms are a lot better than the fisherman's lodge, as long as you can afford the resources for it. But that is where we're going to end this episode. If you learned something new and you liked the video, please push the like button. If you are interested in seeing more content like this, make sure to subscribe, and I will see you next time.